Hello, movie lovers! Welcome back to Apocaflix Movies if you're a frequent listener, and welcome for the first time if you are not. This is Apocaflix Movies, the movie news YouTube channel and movie review YouTube channel where we talk movies, blockbusters, indie films, pretty much anything going on in the movie world. And this movie news podcast is specifically for movie news. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and like always, I am joined by Giorgio Ramos.
Hey, what's up, guys? Damn, who saw that Rogue One trailer? That shit was freaking awesome.
I don't know what you're talking about. So it's probably going to be just you and I for the foreseeable future. Jake is going to be kind of taking a back seat as far as podcasting goes, but he is writing the show notes and handling all the graphics for the YouTube channel, so he's definitely carrying his weight. Shout out to Jake Berlin. Thanks for all you do, and we will carry on your legacy through this podcast like he passed away or something. But anyways, he still lives through his movie news show notes. But do we have anything exciting to talk about today? I have no idea. Let's start with the first topic, and that is the big Rogue One trailer that dropped last night. And it's funny because Gio and I were actually at a comedy club last night seeing Collider and Schmojno's Mark Ellis perform at the Punchline in Sacramento, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Ellis. We got a picture with him on our Apocaflix Instagram. Go check that out. Follow. But yeah, that was fun. But we watched the trailer on my phone in the comedy club before the show started, which was a unique experience. But then we watched it later on when we got back to the house. But yeah, what is there to say? Gio, how did you feel about this first official quote-unquote Rogue One trailer?
Well, leading up to it, I was kind of annoyed, I guess you could say, because like it seemed like
before
we were
the
getting a trailer.
Yeah, well, Star Wars Celebration was a huge disappointment because everyone's expecting a trailer instead of that sizzle reel.
Yeah, right. So the trailer finally arrived. Look, let's start off with the elephant in the room. We got to see Darth Vader. That was pretty cool. It wasn't the cameo I was expecting, but at least it lets you know that he's in the movie. So, I mean, that's cool.
Some casual movie fans still probably didn't know that.
Yeah, they don't even know that this movie's coming out. It's pretty insane. Well, I mean, they're not geeks like us, I guess you could say. But I like this trailer. A lot of cool shots. You got the Death Star in front of the moon, like the eclipse kind of thing. You got to see more of Donnie Yen, a character who I'm looking forward to the most. Some funny bits in here. You have who does Alan Tudyk play? The
droid.
The droid, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure
I know, I don't remember the name at the top of my head.
Yeah, so there was some funny dialogue there, but you get a sense that the threat is imminent, you would say.
Definitely.
We know the story. The plans of the Death Star need to be retrieved. And
the droid's name is K2SO. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. Yeah. So a lot of cool shots in here. The X-wing fighters flying through. The one with the AT that we're just looking at.
The
right
rocket
now.
launcher hitting
the
AT-AT.
This is gonna be like a different kind of action from Star Wars that we haven't seen before. Very grounded. Lots of gunfights. So I'm really looking forward to it. The trailer was good. I can't wait to see it. And yeah.
Yeah, so when I first watched the trailer, I couldn't really give like a full opinion on it because we watched it on my phone in a crowded, loud venue. But when we watched it at your house later that night, I really liked it. But then earlier today, because we rewatch these over and over again. Mm-hmm. So earlier today is when it really hit me. I was at home and I threw it on again, and throughout in the middle of the trailer, I started to get a little misty-eyed because I was just thinking about it and I was realizing wow, look what Star Wars can do. It started off as this, it's been this nostalgic thing that has lived on through the original trilogy and the prequels, whether you like them or not. But now we got The Force Awakens bringing the main story back to the forefront. But look at what they're doing. It's so beautiful. This movie has the potential to be something truly special when you're talking about a real war movie in the Star Wars universe. And when this is the first time I've really truly felt that in this trailer. Like, you get glimpses of it in the teaser and in the sizzle reel, but I really truly felt that in this trailer, and I just started to get emotional because Star Wars means so much to me, and the fact that they can do this with this property, and we get to experience different areas of this universe every single year now, it brings a tear to my eye, literally. So and as far as the trailer goes, it's freaking awesome. Like, it's not the best trailer I've ever seen. It's not the best Star Wars trailer I've ever seen, but there's some freaking really cool moments. K2SO, I'm really excited about his character. He had some good lines, like the pilot says, "You're a friend, so I won't kill you." Like, what? And then there's a 97.6 chance of failure. Like, that was a C-3PO moment, but his own version of it. And Diego Luna, is that the actor?
Yep.
I'm excited for his character. I don't know what it is about him. Like, it seems like he voluntarily goes on this mission with Jyn Erso. It just seems like he doesn't have to, because he says, "If you're doing this, I want to join you."
Right.
And she's like, good. And then, so there's a lot of things to like about this, but I'm just excited to see hopefully a true war movie in the Star Wars universe. And obviously Vader, I'm fine with that. I don't want to see any more, honestly. I'm totally fine with that. I have a prediction. I mean, this is fair game. We can predict whatever we want, right? From watching the trailer.
Sure, yeah.
I think Felicity Jones' character is going to die. You see when she's limping and she's walking up to the what ship is that? An X-wing?
Yeah.
No, it's not an X-wing. It's the Empire ship.
TIE
Fighter. Yeah. Just to call myself a Star Wars fan, but I think she's going to successfully get the plans, but sacrificing her own life to do so. And that's fine, because this is possibly a one-off, and you might see some of these characters return, which is definitely possible, but that doesn't mean all of them have to. And how unique and ballsy would it be to kill off the main character? I think, and it's something that works. Like, you can't kill off Rey, maybe at least not into episode 9 if you really wanted to do it, but you can kill off Jyn Erso and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So anyways, I can talk about this trailer forever, but I loved it. But I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so of course I'm going to love it. So do you have any last thoughts on the Rogue One trailer?
No, just hopefully it does its marketing job, and it brings awareness to everyone that a new Star Wars movie is coming out.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to another trailer. Some has to do with space, kind of. So we have our first look at Denis Villeneuve's Sicario follow-up, which is titled Arrival. The alien invasion drama stars Amy Adams as Louis Banks, an expert linguist who's recruited by the U.S. government when a mysterious alien ship enters Earth's atmosphere. Along with Jeremy Renner's physicist and an elite team led by Forrest Whitaker, Banks is tasked with investigating and communicating with the spacecraft before time runs out. Arrival is due out in theaters on November 11th of this year. So, Gio, we saw the Arrival trailer not too long ago. What do you think?
For what it was, I liked it.
And it's a TV spot. So
it's a TV spot. Yeah, it's. I like the leads, Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. We're getting a Marvel DC crossover already. And I like the suspense.
And a Rogue One crossover, Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I like it. It's very suspenseful. It there's a lot of mystery behind. Who are these beings? We know they're going to be aliens or something like that. But the way Denis Villeneuve does it, a lot of suspense, a lot of thrill. Even though it's kind of subtle, because you want to know what this thing is. So as a teaser, I'm interested. And the guy can do no wrong. He's done Prisoners. He did what's that movie with Jay Jones? Enemy and
I still haven't seen Enemy. I really want to watch it.
Yeah. So as a teaser, I can't wait for the official trailer to come out later this month, about a week, I think. Yeah. So what do you think? It's
weird that they're calling it a TV spot, because normally you don't get TV spots till after the official trailers. But I liked it. I mean, the concept alone is very intriguing. And the director is what catches my eye. And I like Amy Adams. Of course, I like Jeremy Renner and Forrest Whitaker. You have 3 Academy-level actors working in this movie. I just realized that, which is awesome. So it has all the ingredients to be something special. I like I consider this a teaser. You can call it a TV spot. I consider this a teaser. I mean, it teases you at the end, right? And I'm fine. I was telling you, Gio, that this is all I need to see. I can go in and watch the movie today, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
But of course, I'll watch the next trailer when it comes out. I just hope they don't show too much. But as far as this trailer goes, I liked it.
Cool.
All right. Well, moving on to another movie that might also star Amy Adams, and that is the Man of Steel sequel. The Wrap has reported that a Man of Steel sequel has now been put in active development at Warner Brothers. Ever since the DCEU's unveiling back in 2014, it seemed like a sequel to Man of Steel wasn't going to happen anytime soon. But according to The Wrap, the sequel is a top priority for the studio, as is getting the character right for audiences. If this ends up being true, Warner Bros. May finally be listening to their DC fans, as many complaints about Batman v Superman revolved around the movie not leaving any time to build on the character of Superman from Man of Steel, and a lot of fans have complained that this is not the Superman that they know, or even a Superman that they necessarily like. I personally love the Henry Cavill Superman, especially for Man of Steel. He was disserviced in Batman v Superman, but you had to tell that story kind of the way it was told. But Gio, you hear this I don't want to say a rumor, but this report. What do you think, man?
I'm definitely excited. About time. I don't know what Warner Brothers has been thinking about, not announcing a Man of Steel 2 sequel. But it's great to hear that it's in development. I think we all knew it's going to be in development.
It was going to come eventually.
It's going to come sooner or later. Yeah.
It made profit, and in my opinion, it's a freaking great movie.
So. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited about it. The question for me is who's going to direct it. I don't see Zack Snyder directing the sequel. I would like for him to. I don't have a problem with him doing it, but I think with Man of Steel, BVS, and now Justice League, I think he might, feel like he's done enough for this universe and time for someone else to take on. And if that happens, I really hope to see George Miller. I think he could bring something, very, very different to the DCEU, and we saw what he did with Mad Max. And yeah, so I think it's a good idea. Should this have happened instead of Batman v Superman? No, not really. I feel like because the Dark Knight trilogy came it ended like what 5 years ago. 5 years ago, till today. So I think you needed to introduce a new Batman, because that's what people are going to be wondering. You have Superman, where's Batman? So I thought that was a good introduction. And I guess we'll wait and see who's directing. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think we all knew the Man of Steel sequel was going to come eventually. It's just we haven't heard anything about it. They announced their slate a few years ago. No Man of Steel, no Batman. We still don't know when the Batman's coming out, do we?
No.
Not a specific release date.
There are 2 release dates. One's in 20...
But we always knew they were going to... It's Batman and Superman. They're going to fill their movies. I'm fine with the way how that went. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad. Regardless of what you think of the movies, I like that order. And I like that Wonder Woman is the 4th movie, and then Justice League. I like that order because, Suicide Squad is kind of the wild card, but... for most people it didn't work. I think it did. But Man of Steel, so everyone has their own opinions, right? But I think Man of Steel is a great film. So in my book, they've had one great movie and 2 pretty good movies, and that's my opinion. According to the rest of the world, like if you take a general consensus, if you want to consider the Rotten Tomatoes score and just general opinions, a lot of people would say all 3 were critically failures, but I completely disagree with that. So I think there's so much more to build off of from the Man of Steel and the Batman v Superman events, and then of course the Justice League events are going to tie into that. Where do you take Superman after that? You can do a lot of things with that, and there's so many villains and other things to explore in the Superman world. The question is who is going to direct. I don't think it's going to be Zack Snyder. When a director directs a film, that means a lot to me. They're forever on my good side. And Zack Snyder gave me Man of Steel, which is one of my top 10 comic book movies of all time. So I'll forever thank him for that. But I'm fine with him not directing Man of Steel 2. Like, he did Man of Steel. There's certain things in Batman v Superman that I absolutely love, and then he's doing Justice League, which I'm hoping knocks it out of the park. So it would make sense for someone else to come in. George Miller has been rumored for a long time to be directing that, and we know he was going to direct a Justice League movie back in like 2008 or something like that. So we know he has a love for these properties. So I would be fine with that. I'd also be fine with another name. So who knows? I look forward to finding out anything that has to do with the potential Man of Steel sequel. Well, moving on to news about another sequel that is probably not going to happen, and that is for Ghostbusters. So the Hollywood Reporter is reporting that that Ghostbusters is going to have a $75 million box office loss, taking in $117 million domestically and a very disappointing $63 million internationally. Now, Sony had a huge plan for this Ghostbusters universe. They were going to do spin-offs and crossovers and all this stuff, and after the movie came out, it got pretty good reviews. It wasn't as bad as everyone was expecting. I personally enjoyed it. Gio liked it to a certain extent. So I was actually hoping there would be a sequel, but looking at these box office numbers, I don't see how they could do that unless they like completely right the ship and do something like flip this franchise on its head. But Gio, you look at these box office numbers, and do you think there's going to be a Ghostbusters sequel with this cast and this continuation of the story?
You know, this movie franchise has every reason not to continue on. You look at the box office, the critical reception, it wasn't the hit that Sony needed it to be. And we're talking about Sony, a studio that's very desperate right now. They're doing an MIB 23, Jump Street 23 crossover. So they need some franchises. So I just have a feeling that we're going to see another Ghostbusters for a less budget, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, should there be another one? No. Are they going to do it? Probably, because they feel like they can probably do better the second time. Maybe learn from their mistakes. So we'll see. Maybe do like a guy and girl Ghostbuster team. Don't make it so one-sided, where you have all these female characters you want us to buy and all these dumbass male characters we're supposed to just go with and laugh and all that. Like, you gotta find some balance. So, do I want to see one? No, not really, but they're probably gonna do one anyway. So,
I'm kind of the opposite of you. I want to see one, but I don't think they're going to do it. Now, in Hollywood, it always comes down to money, no matter what. Now, the only reason I could think they would do it was like, look, we messed up the marketing. There's a lot of negative buzz around the female cast and everything, which isn't right, but it is what it is. And so we know the movie wasn't bad. It got pretty good reviews, so I think we can do another one and get it right this time as far as the hype and the marketing, and maybe people will realize, oh, I went and saw the first one and I liked it, so maybe I'll watch the second one. But in order for the sequel to even have a chance to be successful, they're going to have to do something different. Now, whether that means dropping a couple of the members or just adding new members, male members, and not going out of your way to diss men and make men look stupid, they can get away from that, then I think they could probably make a good sequel. But it's all going to come down to money. That's all they're worried about. So if I'm basing the potential of a sequel off the box office success, it's probably not going to happen. But I personally enjoyed the movie enough to where I want to see this cast back, and I actually had a really good time. Like, I did not expect to enjoy it so much. Like, when I'm in the movie theater and I'm watching a movie and I don't want the movie to end because I'm having such a good time, I know I like the movie. And that's how I felt watching Ghostbusters. It surprised me with certain elements, but also kind of irked me the wrong way with other elements, just attacking men. Like, I've gone on about that in our Ghostbusters review. Like, you can't win, you can't beat sexism with sexism. Like, it just doesn't work. But overall, yeah, probably not going to happen, but I'm hoping it does. But they got to switch it up, do something different. All right, moving on to a little story that came out and is running around the movie news sites. So apparently, Dwayne Johnson has called his Fast 8 male co-stars candy asses. Now, considering The Rock's history with wrestling and the way how they hyped everything up, and this is kind of just his personality coming out, but at the same time it's really interesting because it draws the question, what did his co-stars do to piss him off in a way? So this is what Dwayne Johnson said. My female co-stars are always amazing and I love them. My male co-stars, however, are a different story. Some conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken shit to do anything about it anyway. Candy asses. When you watch this movie next April and it seems like I'm not acting in some of these scenes and my blood is legit boiling, you're right. So it was later revealed that Johnson was talking about his co-star Vin Diesel, and it was over a dispute about the film's direction from the producer standpoint. I don't know if that's true or not, if that's 100% confirmed. But anyways, Gio, I'm curious to hear what you think about this.
Oh, I totally buy into this. Dwayne Johnson, he's become as big of a part to this franchise as Vin Diesel. We know Diesel's very, passionate about this. He's a producer, but without him, this franchise wouldn't be as successful as it has been. So, I think that the feud is real, but I don't think it's as serious as people are taking it. So, with that in mind, I think that this will blow over. But hey, it's good publicity, right? I mean, and at the same time, I don't think you want to piss Dwayne Johnson off, because the last thing you want is for him to leave your franchise. If you have Dwayne Johnson, you would like to keep him there. So, how do I feel about it? I think there's some truth to it. There's always, behind the scenes stuff that happens, but it's not that serious. I don't think it's that serious. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it either way. It's funny to me. That's all it is. It makes me laugh. But it's kind of like, I don't want to say friendly competition, but it's not like that's, they're not like ignoring each other on set, I don't think. I just think he's just, in a friendly type of way, like calling him out. Like, so I'm curious exactly what caused this. Like, what could it possibly have been? Like, I don't know, like, oh, I want to do this, we should do the scene this way, not this way. Is it something as simple as that? Like, I can't imagine what caused this. But either way, Dwayne Johnson is a showman. He likes to stir up things and cause controversy ever since his wrestling days. So it's kind of just, this is what you're going to get when you're dealing with Dwayne Johnson. He's not afraid to speak his mind. And it's just friendly competition, and it's good publicity. Like, people are now, it reminds people that Fast 8 is coming, and now people are going to go watch it and think about this. Like, oh, I want to see what he's talking about. Like, what scenes does he really look mad at? Mm-hmm. So, at the same time, though, one thing that kind of not upsets me, but kind of disappoints me about Dwayne Johnson is that no matter what, in this business, you're supposed to be a professional. And if you're getting upset about things that are happening on set, when the cameras start rolling, you're supposed to put that aside and do your job and perform. And he's saying he's not acting because he was upset. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like that. You're supposed to be professional and conduct yourself.
He said that in some scenes when it looks like he's legitimately pissed off, that's because that's not acting. That's him legitimately pissed off. So I don't think he meant it that he's not acting. He's saying that that's not acting. That's real. That's like me. Like,
okay, yeah. I mean, we all take stuff different ways. I took it as like, when you see me not acting, it's because I was mad. Like, that's how I took it. Mm-hmm. But maybe we could all interpret it however we want. But overall, it kind of just makes me chuckle in a way. All right, well, moving on from our standard movie news discussion to a new segment that we introduced last week called Take One or Leave One. Now, this is our new segment where we bring up two movie-related things, and we introduce, like, it could be trailers or news topics, and you can either take one or leave one. Taking one meaning you're more excited or you buy that one over the other one. It doesn't necessarily mean you dislike the one that you're leaving. We're forcing each other to choose on which thing we like better. So the first topic for Take One or Leave One, we have two trailers. So we have the trailer for Resident Evil, the final chapter, and then the trailer for Bad Santa 2. Probably 2 unnecessary sequels. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter opens on January 27th, 2017, and has the return of Mila Jovovich as Alice. And Bad Santa 2 opens November 23rd of this year. So, Gio, we just watched those 2 trailers. What do you got? Take one or leave one?
God, I so want to leave both of them. I don't even want to take one. But if I'm taking one, I'll take Bad Santa 2 because I'm not really that, close to the Resident Evil franchise. I didn't really watch the movies. At least with Bad Santa 2, I can go to like Studio Movie Grill and have some drinks and watch it while I'm, drinking. So there's that. So and maybe get a few laughs out of it. So I'll take Bad Santa 2.
I'm taking the Resident Evil trailer. I think it looks really fun, honestly. And like you're right, Gio. We watched the Bad Santa 2 trailer. I did not crack a laugh once because it looks freaking stupid, totally unnecessary. I appreciate the first Bad Santa. You captured lightning in a bottle, in my opinion. It was funny for the time it came out. It was hilarious and it worked. This sequel is completely unnecessary, and usually I'm fine. I don't usually say sequels are unnecessary. I'm fine, like whatever, bring it. Like it can't hurt. If it sucks, oh well. But this one I just cannot get behind. On the other hand, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter looks fun to me. Like I think I could go to Studio Movie Grill and have a drink and watch that and have fun, watch some cool action scenes. So it's funny that we kind of went opposite on that. But yeah, I'm taking the Resident Evil: The Final Chapter.
All right. Yeah.
All right, moving on to our second topic under the Take One or Leave One segment, and that has to do with some casting, I guess you can call both of these topics. So we all know is it called Ocean's 8?
Yep, Ocean's 8.
Okay,
there's only 8.
Yeah, so there's a reboot of the Ocean's 11 franchise. They're calling it Ocean's 8, and it's having an all-female cast, and some new casting has came out, and Deadline revealed earlier this week that both Rihanna and Anne Hathaway will be joining Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Mindy Kaling, and Helena Bonham Carter in the heist thriller, and the movie currently has no release date. And then on the other hand, we have it coming out that Jimmy Smits will be returning in his role as Bail Organa in Star Wars Rogue One. His character was in the Star Wars prequels. For those of you who don't know, he's the character who took on Princess Leia. He took her under his wing. Obi-Wan Kenobi dropped her off to him. So these are like 2 completely unrelated topics, but which one are you more excited about? Take one or leave one.
Oh man, I love the Bail Organa character. I really do. So it'll be exciting to see him return. However, I don't think he'll have as much screen time.
It's gonna be a cameo.
It'll probably be a cameo, which is cool, nice to see. But I gotta take the Ocean's 8 casting. I really like the addition of Rihanna and Anne Hathaway. And just look at Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Mindy Kaling, and Helena Bonham Carter. Like that's a hell of a cast, and they're not done yet because I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names, so they still have to add a few more. Will Jennifer Lawrence be in that cast too? We'll see if she can play along. But I like it. I mean, this right here alone makes me more excited than a Ghostbusters 2. Like I would rather have this. Like I can't wait to see what they're going to do. It's going to be sexy. It's going to be a heist. It's going to be funny. Gary Ross, who did, the first Hunger Games one?
I think so, yeah.
And something else. He did a couple other things. But, I mean, Bullock, Blanchett, come on now. Rihanna, I gotta take the Ocean's 8.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, the cast for Ocean's 8 excites me. Like, I cannot wait to see all of these women on screen together. It's going to be freaking awesome. You're talking Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock, and Cate Blanchett. Like, seriously? That's an amazing cast. But I don't give a shit that it's Ocean's 8, though. I wish this was just a female heist movie. Why does it have to be Ocean's 8? Like, I don't like that aspect of it. But I'm totally down for a female-led heist movie. That sounds awesome with this cast. But I'm a freaking Star Wars fan, and any little bits and pieces of Star Wars excites me. And we've talked about this before, seeing Jimmy Smits return as Bail Organa in a small cameo, and that That's for me. So I am going to take Jimmy Smits returning for Rogue One. It's just fan service, and it's going to get me excited. Probably shouldn't be that excited about it, but I am. So I'm taking the Bail Organa returning, played by Jimmy Smits. All right, well, moving on to our last segment of the Movie News Podcast, how we end every Movie News Podcast, and that is the Showdown Sunday, the topics that Gio prepares for us, the article that he puts up every Sunday on apocaflixmovies.com. Check it out. And lately we've been doing, we would talk about the topic that's going to go up the upcoming weekend, as before we would do the one that came out the previous weekend. So Gio, throwing it over to you, what do we got for Showdown Sunday this week?
Well, we're gonna focus on very comic book like stuff. So I decided, you know what, Suicide Squad came out. They had some interesting bad guys in there. So let's focus on bad guys, and let's pull one from Marvel and one from DC. So I want to know, who do you think has the better rogues gallery between Batman and Spider-Man? Now, Batman, you got Joker, you got Harley Quinn, you got Bane, you got Riddler, you got Hugo Strange, Deadshot, Killer Croc, I think I already said that, Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, Catwoman, and so on, Penguin. And then for Spider-Man, you got the Kingpin, Lizard, Kraven, Rhino, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Carnage, Venom, Sandman, and a few others. I think I said Vulture.
Did you say Vulture?
Green Goblin, Hobgoblin. So
Venom, Carnage,
Mysterio. This is tough.
Black Cat.
Yeah, you got Poison Ivy for Batman. This is two pretty good rogues galleries just for a single comic book character. So, in your opinion, which one has a better one?
Oh, this is easy. No, I'm just kidding. This is this is so difficult. These are hands down the two best rogues galleries in superhero in the superhero world. Period. Like, there's no question about it. You cannot put any other rogues gallery against these two. Like, these are the two best ones. Now, it really comes down to which type of villains do you like. Now, here's the thing. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, no matter what. Like that, he is my favorite superhero. But Batman has the better rogues gallery. It's close, but I gotta give it to Batman. And the first thing, you're starting with the Joker. Like, if you think about it, the Green Goblin, they're not exactly the same, but they're kind of similar in a way.
Sure,
the Green Goblin and the Joker, they're just completely insane, and they're both the number one villains to these popular characters. So you're starting with the Joker. Like, it's the freaking Joker, arguably probably the second most iconic villain of all time after Darth Vader, you know? So you got that, and then you also throw in pretty much all the characters from Suicide Squad, like Harley Quinn, especially with what Margot Robbie did for the character. And then just it never ends. You got Bane, Penguin, the Riddler, so many iconic characters, Poison Ivy, and I just love the style of Batman's villains and the dark grittiness. Like, Batman's villains are gonna straight up murder you. Like, Spider-Man's villains are kind of more easygoing and playful in a way, and that's kind of how Marvel and DC are differentiated in general. But while I love Spider-Man and his rogues gallery, I gotta go Batman's rogues gallery.
Yeah, I'm going Batman also, only because of the psychological, what it does. Batman. I'm not saying Spider-Man can kill, but Batman absolutely. His one rule is to not kill. But then you have people like Riddler who will play games with Batman, with his riddles and all that. You got the Joker who's just hellbent, like. You can beat him up, you can punch out his teeth or whatever, and he's still gonna come after you, and because he knows that you won't go as far as killing him, so he'll just continue to play and play and play. Then you have the muscles like Bane and Killer Croc, who can physically beat Batman, but Batman finds ways to take them down. So for myself, I got to go with Batman. And it's just interesting thinking about some things like who would win in a fight between like Rhino and Bane, or like Hobgoblin and Joker. That'd be pretty cool. So I don't know, just some more stuff, but I thought it was interesting, so I got to go with Batman. So
yeah, that's a great topic. I'm surprised we never had that discussion before on the podcast. That's a good one, man. All right, well, that's going to wrap up Apocaflix movie news for this week. I want to thank Gio Ramos for doing his thing today, man. Let them know where they can find you online.
You guys can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24 and check out apocaflixmovies.com for articles, editorials, reviews, all that good stuff.
And I'm your host, Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at JacobBartley_ on this Apocaflix Movies YouTube channel. And yeah, please subscribe and hit that like button. We really do appreciate it. Every single subscriber, it brings pleasure to my heart. We truly do appreciate it. And also, check out Apocaflix Movies on Instagram. Gio got it popping over there. Thank you all for listening. Until next time, take care.